Hey guys, I'm just going to go over what we're kind of going to be working on this week. So just make sure that you read the chapter 6, take the quiz. You might actually want to read and take the quiz before you even try to do the assignment, because that's going to help you with the assignment. But please complete thumbnail sketches for the ad concept design project. So I'm wanting you to do 3 thumbnail sketches for this project, which is going to be due this Sunday, February 28th, before 11:30 p.m. So we're just coming up with ideas and thumbnail sketches for an ad design for Bear Paw Ski Bowl. Please take your time with your ideas, ad concepts, and your 3 thumbnail sketches. Because really the ideation phase and coming up with your thumbnails are going to be probably the most important phase of ad design is actually the ideation phase of design, which you're not even actually designing anything, you're just coming up with your ideas and sketching things out and coming up with headline ideas, subhead ideas, that kind of thing. So it's not just the imagery of the ad that you're coming up with, but you're also coming up with the text that you're going to be putting in your ad as well. So read through this concept, ad concept and design project worksheet. This is going to be a 2-week process. So this week we're just doing the ideation phase, the 3 thumbnails. This video up here will also go over the project worksheet in detail if you'd rather watch the video. Also just reading through that a couple times on your own is going to be helpful before even starting this thumbnail sketch assignment basically. So I'm just going to go over the thumbnail sketch assignment in detail in this video. So make sure to pick a goal and an audience segment for your ad design. So you're going to have to open up that project worksheet right here and actually pick out which goal you're going to go with and which audience segment you're going to go with. And I have lists in that project worksheet that you can choose your idea from. And so I want you to complete 3 thumbnail sketch ideas. Please let me know what your audience is and what your goal is for your ad. Probably above your sketch. You're probably gonna have to do your sketches on 3 different pieces of paper, something large enough. I mean, I did mine on a 8.5 by 11, and it has to be something large enough where you can actually write out your headlines and your subheads and your call to actions and that kind of thing. So I would suggest doing 3 separate pieces of paper with 3 different ideas, and probably using a pen is going to be your best bet, just because it's going to show up a little bit better when you take a picture with your phone and submit this for a grade. It's going to show up better if it's on a bigger piece of paper, like a regular computer paper without any lines or rules on it. Is going to be the best thing for your sketches. So this is what I want in your thumbnail sketches. I want a headline, I want a subhead, I want a call to action, which is the action you want your viewer to take after reading the ad. And then imagery, photo, graphical ideas, any of those ideas, I want you to include those as best you can. You know, these are sketches, they don't have to be masterpieces. And then also it needs to have the Bear Paw logo in it somewhere. Typically a good place for a logo would be the lower right-hand corner. And then so each thumbnail sketch should have different imagery and text ideas, but can be for the same goal and audience. If you want to choose more than one goal audience combination for each of your 3 sketches that you end up doing on 3 separate pieces of paper, you can do it that way if you want. But if you want, you can just choose one goal and one audience segment and then just do different imagery and text combinations. Just remember to just do 3, and they all need to include at least these 3 things. If you have body copy, you can include those ideas, but that's optional. I mostly just want these elements. You can also add in some sort of deal or promotion if you think of something. I mean, obviously, if you're going to be designing something for seniors, they get to ski for free, so that's something that you could potentially put in an ad for senior skiers. So just remember, whatever deal you make up should be targeted at your chosen audience. So if you're doing it for families, maybe like, you know, kids ski for free under the age of 6 or something, just make it up if you want to. Add in some kind of promotional deal in there, that's totally fine. Just make sure that it's geared towards your audience. Make sure your ad concept meets the ad goal. and also is targeted at your audience segment that you picked. So your imagery and your text should all be speaking to the goal of your ad and also the audience of your ad. So you really need to target your audience and really think specifically about the imagery and text combinations that you're using, and they should be specific to your audience if possible. And then just make sure that the tone of the ad is playful, lighthearted, humorous. So the text and the imagery needs to kind of reflect that type of personality, because that's really what the tone and the brand that we're wanting to go with for Bear Paw Ski Bowl, because one of the main goals, really honestly, the underlying goal for Bear Paw Ski Bowl, I think, is to attract that new generation of skiers, snowboarder, or volunteer out there. So I think having that kind of youthful brand or tone is going to be important. So whatever you design with that in mind. And then this whole process is so that you can come up with 3 different ideas for imagery and text combinations, possibly 3 different audience and goal combinations. That's kind of up to you. You can just have one goal and one audience that you do 3 different designs for. It's kind of up to you. But really the main thing is that after this process, you're going to be picking your favorite idea or your favorite thumbnail idea, and then using that to actually create the final design that we're going to be designing in canva.com later next week. So I'm going to grade your thumbnails. I'll give you feedback on your thumbnails, any kind of improvements that I can think of. And this will hopefully help you to identify which thumbnail idea that you like the best and that you actually want to execute with your with canva.com at the end of next week, basically. So when you're done with your 3 thumbnail sketches on, hopefully 3 different pieces of paper about this size, please upload them. Just take a picture with your phone. Use good lighting. If you use that pen, that's going to help it stick out a little bit better for me to see. And just upload them into the Brightspace by the due date, which is this Sunday, February 28th at 11:30 p.m. And please don't leave this till last minute. It's going to be something that you should take your time with. But also definitely try to read the project worksheet, read through the content area of week 6, read the chapter, and then do these thumbnails. So your goal is to sell lift tickets. This is actually that's not your goal, but it's my goal that I made for this particular example. So here's one of the thumbnail sketches. I would have to do 2 more if I were you, but I'm just putting 1 in here. So I listed the goal up here. It's to sell lift tickets. My audience that I chose are young males that are experienced skiers or snowboarders. And so here's my headline idea. I actually wrote it out, which is what I want you to do. So local skiing, local faces, local flavor. You belong out here is my subhead. And then I have this guy doing a trick off the lodge. I have a group of skiers hanging out, or they could be snowboarders. And then a guy eating a burger from the barbecue. Just kind of basically a montage, or like it's divided into 3 segments. And then I have my call to action down here at the bottom. So it's one of the last thing that the viewer sees. So call this number or for more information, or message us or like us on Facebook. I probably will choose maybe message us on Facebook, and hopefully the user will just know automatically that I should probably like this page if I'm interested in this. But they can message us on Facebook, because they actually don't have a website. So their main way of getting a hold of Bear Paw is through Facebook. So, and then here's the Bear Paw logo right here. So a good place to put the logo is obviously going to be at the end of the ad on the right hand side, down in the lower right hand corner, because we read from left to right in Western society. So the last thing that this person more than likely will see, they'll start up here at the top, read through, look at the imagery, look at the call to action, and then the last thing they'll see is the logo. So I would suggest kind of keeping the logo and the call to action probably somewhere down here as the last couple things that the viewer ends up seeing. And yeah, that is basically the thumbnail sketch idea. And obviously, you don't have to be great at drawing to do this. I just literally use stick figures, and just remember to write out your ideas, your text ideas, and as best you can, and try to come up with some interesting ways of using imagery. And then next week I'm going to actually, maybe I'll put the logo in here now and the images that I'm going to have you guys use. I might actually put them in week 7, and then you guys can look in there and see what images you want to use. But anyway, it might help to look at the Facebook page for Bear Paw Ski Bowl too, just to kind of look around, and you can find images on there that you might want to use. But I also will provide you with some for this, so it might help to look through the images that I upload in here. I think I will put them in week 6, so you can look at those. And that might help you with your ideas as well, for your thumbnail ideas.